So my current exploration is all about exploring negative and positive space, incorporating calligraphy. I started as a calligrapher when I was at school at 16, well, probably 15, where I was really lucky enough that my art teacher, Mrs. Fisher, when I started my GCSEs and took right through to A levels, she was a calligrapher. She was an amazing calligrapher. So I had the opportunity to learn this amazing art right from scratch and study it through 4 years, and it just connected with me straight away. I just love letter forms. I'm fascinated with typography and letter forms. I just find them a thing of beauty. And whilst I sort of dabbled here and there with little snippets of calligraphy over the years, I only again rediscovered my calligraphy when I started back on my artist path in 2019. Went rummaging through the house and discovered my original calligraphy set, which was filled with great joy and excitement because I couldn't remember where I'd put it. I knew it was in house somewhere. And that has sparked rediscovering my passion for calligraphy. But it's more than that. I've always loved the traditional forms of calligraphy, and I'll show you some of the pieces here that I actually did for my exams. I'm lucky enough to still have some of my original pieces I retrieved from school. And yes, I love that formality. I love the precision of formal calligraphy and illuminated letters. However, I just find I'm drawn to the whole act of writing and script and exploring letter forms. And it's really fascinating because my handwriting is absolutely appalling. My handwriting is dreadful. I tend to process my thoughts quite quickly, and my handwriting can't keep up, so it ends up being this illegible scrawl. And it always amuses me whenever I've spoken to customers in the shop who are looking to consider coming on to one of my calligraphy courses, and that's quite often the first thing they say is but my handwriting is appalling. But calligraphy is a completely different art form from handwriting, and what I like about it is that it slows you down. It has that meditative value to it, and I can really lose myself in just writing the letter forms, focusing on the dip pen and ink and the flow of it, and it just allows me space to think. And it's really interesting because if I'm doing a formal piece of calligraphy, the concentration level that's needed is quite high because it's so easy for you to just get momentarily distracted and you put a wrong letter in. It's just so easy done. Your brain just goes off on that little tangent, and then you end up, I'll have to see if I can find it. I'll pop in the image here of my calligraphy where I got carried away with the PHs. But it is so easy just to get that little moment of distraction. So when I'm doing formal calligraphy, it's actually quite a concentrated thing, and it's something I'll cover in future videos about how it's quite labour intensive doing formal calligraphy. There's a lot of hours and work and preparation involved into getting to a final piece, but I'll save that for another day. But what I like to do is just write letter forms, anything. And part of my exploration this week has been but just doing this the other evening. I had radio on and just sitting writing letter forms. This is something that I'm looking to explore with some ideas. These are old dictionary pages, little old battered dictionary that my friend Rashan rescued for me. She works in a charity shop and it was going to go and be pulped, and she retrieved it for me, and it's actually got a dedication in the front, which I think is 1930s, I want to say. It's got sort of handwritten. I know a lot of people find it quite a sacrilege to destroy books, but my view is that this little dictionary would have ended up pulped, whereas it has been used over the years in workshops, and it is now part of hundreds of pieces of art, which I think is fantastic. It gives it new life. So I've got this lovely old dictionary, which, as you can see, it's got all different sort of shades of pages where they're all old. But I have also picked up a modern dictionary as well, again just from I go in the charity shop and ask for if they've got any books due to be pulped, because that way then I don't feel any guilt over ripping them up and destroying them, because they were going to be destroyed anyway. And you can get some quite interesting books that way as well, some foreign language books as well. And I will show you at some point my first altered book, which I actually rescued again from the sale rail. I think it was a 50p book. And because I kept buying books and then thinking, no, I can't possibly deface a book. I can't do art in a book. And so I found the most boring book that I could find, which is actually, I can't show at the moment because it's actually propping up my camera, but I will show you that. I'll do a little video and we'll cut that in. It's actually a book on football by Michael Parkinson. I am not a football fan. I could think of no more boring book that I was happily able to put art in. So just a little tip for you there. If you want to have a go at altered books, is just find the most boring book you can find, and you won't mind then adjusting it and altering it and putting beautiful things in it. Anyway, I've gone completely off on a sideline, which is my tendency to do. This exploration of positive and negative space, this is part of, I'm doing Find Your Voice course with Louise Fletcher at the moment, which is my third time of doing it. Her courses are amazing. Her art tribe is amazing. Can't recommend them highly enough. Such an amazing community of friends and wealth of knowledge. It's fantastic. I'll put links in below if you're interested. And so what I've started to do is actually play around with letter forms. So I'm going to pop up on screen for you some of the letter forms that I've done so far. And it's really interesting to explore the sort of positive and negative space. What do I mean by that? I've always been fascinated where you can actually see a shape by what's not there. The surrounding forms actually make the shape, and I find that really interesting, because I just find it a fascinating thing how the brain fills in gaps. And this actually started off, if I can find him again, as a letter A, because I've just been playing around with the letter A. And where's he gone? There he is. So this actually started off as a letter A, and my little cat appeared. But you can see that the surrounding text is just faux text. It's just asemic writing. It's not any particular form. And I find that fascinating, how your brain works to see shapes that are not actually there. And that's what I'm looking to explore. So I thought I would just show you some of the explorations that I've been doing so far. And I hope you find them interesting. And I'm sure that in future videos you'll see how this theme develops. I've got lots of ideas. It's one of those topics I'm just like so excited to explore. And every time I explore something, I come up with something else to explore. So it's, you know, that's the fun. That is the fun of being an artist, of finding a topic that just, oh, lovely. You really get excited about exploring all the different options, and it's fantastic. So far, I've been exploring just the simple letter form A, using quite bold graphic style, so Indian ink, white acrylic ink. So this has been done with a sponge brush, which I've not actually used before with the acrylic ink, with Indian ink, and I loved it. I loved the way that you get this dry brush effect. So just exploring simple shapes, and then going in to add detail with acrylic ink. Again, just that whole visual reference to sort of the positive and the negative. Love this dry brushing, these lovely marks. It's definitely, I am going to be getting some more sponge brushes in different sizes. I then went on to explore masking fluid, which is this stuff. and the masking fluid again has been applied with the sponge brush, and you get these most amazing sort of dry brush marks. So this, I've done the masking fluid and then added the ink afterwards, but I have also incorporated within the Indian ink lots of sort of script marks through as well. And then on the other side, what I love about this is that you can't tell the difference between the marks made with the dry brush with the masking fluid and the dry brushing of the Indian ink. They're sort of have merged in together, and I find that quite fascinating. So you can't quite tell which has been applied by what, and then you've got your little text detail at the bottom. So one of the biggest things I've learnt with Louise's course is all about journaling ideas. So I've gone through to do a whole list of things that I want to explore, and as I think of more things, it's being added to, and obviously recording the work I've just shown you. But it's just exploring, and a sketchbook is ideal for this. You can just explore little options of investigation and make notes. I've also pulled off of Pinterest sort of various different ideas that I like, that I'm just drawn to, and a little bit of journaling again as to what I like about it. So another part of the exploration was to use this tissue paper, which obviously has got the positive negative on, and just how the overlaying of that over the ink changes the way it looks. So just exploring even sort of simple things like that with layers all comes into my sort of positive and negative explorations. So I've waffled on long enough. I hope to see you again on a future video. Don't forget to subscribe if you've enjoyed this, and give me a like. Help me with the algorithm to get my YouTube channel out there as I'm new and fresh. And I'll be bringing you in future a mix of art, a mixture of craft, because I'm still a crafter. And hopefully we'll get to know each other. Have a fabulous day.